My girlfriend shouted in front of everyone. If you want to leave, then go. You'll come back to me on your own within a month. I was stunned. I'm 26, a software developer, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had my life figured out. I'd been dating Lena for 2 years, living in Portland, working remotely for a decent company. Everything seemed stable, comfortable, safe. Then I got the offer. It came in March, completely out of nowhere. A startup in Austin wanted me as their lead developer. The salary was almost double what I was making. Equity options. The kind of opportunity that changes trajectories. I was excited when I first saw the email, already mentally drafting my acceptance. Then I told Lena. Austin. She'd looked up from her phone, her face twisting. That's like, what, 2,000 miles away? Roughly 1,800, but yeah. And you're seriously considering it? I tried explaining the opportunity, the growth potential, how it could set us up for the future. She listened with her arms crossed, jaw tight, and when I finished, she said, "So you're just going to abandon me for money?" That stung. I told her it wasn't about abandoning anyone. We could do long distance. I'd fly back every month. Video calls every night. She shook her head like I was naive. Long distance never works. You know that. Plenty of couples make it work. Name one. One couple we know who did long distance and stayed together. I couldn't immediately, which she took as victory. She launched into all the reasons why it was a bad idea. The loneliness. The inevitable growing apart. The temptation. How I'd resent her for not moving with me, or she'd resent me for leaving. By the time she finished, my excitement had curdled into guilt. Over the next few weeks, every time I brought it up, she found new reasons why it was a terrible idea. Austin was too hot. The startup would probably fail. I'd be miserable. What about our life here? What about her job, her friends, her family? What about the apartment we'd just renewed the lease on? You're always chasing the next thing, she said one night while we were cooking dinner. When is enough actually enough for you? I'd stopped stirring the pasta sauce. That's not fair. This isn't about chasing anything. It's about growth. Growth. She said it like it was a dirty word. You're growing just fine here. You got a raise last year. You like your team. Why isn't that enough? Because I want more than fine. She'd gone quiet then, and I realized how that sounded. I tried to clarify, but she waved me off, said she had a headache, and went to bed early. The Austin team kept emailing, extending their deadline, clearly wanting me badly. I kept stalling. Every conversation with Lena ended the same way, with me feeling selfish and her feeling abandoned. I started having trouble sleeping. I'd lie awake wondering if I was making a huge mistake, throwing away something real for something uncertain. By late April, my brother called to check in. He's 5 years older, married, works in finance. You sound miserable, he said. I'm fine. You're not. What's going on? I told him about the offer, about Lena's reaction, about feeling stuck. He listened without interrupting, which I appreciated. Do you want to go? He finally asked. I think so. Yeah. Then go. It's not that simple. It is, actually. You're making it complicated because you feel guilty. But here's the thing. If Lena really loved you, she'd want what's best for your career. She'd figure out how to make it work, or at least support your decision even if it was hard. Instead, she's making you feel bad for wanting to advance. That's manipulation. She's scared of losing me. Then she should be trying to keep you, not control you. That conversation stuck with me, but not enough to change my mind. By May, I'd convinced myself to stay. I drafted an email declining the offer. Lena seemed relieved when I told her. She kissed me, said she knew I'd make the right choice, that we were stronger together. I sent the rejection email that night. Felt sick doing it, but told myself it was the mature decision. 3 days later, we went to her friend Bethany's birthday party at some bar downtown. The place was packed, music loud, people everywhere. Lena had been drinking since we arrived, starting with a cocktail, then another, then shots with Bethany. I was nursing a beer, talking to various people, keeping an eye on her. By 10, I noticed her mood shifting. She got quieter, more withdrawn, responding to me in clipped sentences. When I asked if she was okay, she said she was fine, but her tone suggested otherwise. Around 11, I was talking to Bethany's boyfriend Kyle about hiking trails when Lena appeared next to me, her face flushed. Can we go? She asked. We just got here a couple hours ago. Are you feeling all right? I'm just tired. Can we please go? I glanced at Bethany, who was watching us with concern. Kyle excused himself awkwardly. Is everything okay? I'm fine, Lena snapped. I just want to leave. Okay, let me just say goodbye to. No, forget it. I want to stay now. I blinked. What? I said forget it. I'm fine. Go back to your conversation. The contradiction caught me off guard. Lena, seriously, what's going on? Nothing. I'm fine. Why do you keep asking if I'm fine? Because you're acting strange. She laughed, but it sounded bitter. I'm acting strange. That's rich. I had no idea what she meant. Over the next 30 minutes, she barely spoke to me. She stood with Bethany and a few other friends, drinking, laughing too loud at things that weren't that funny. When I tried joining their circle, the conversation would die down, and Lena would give me this look, like I was intruding. Then I overheard her talking to Bethany near the bar. He almost left me for some job, Lena was saying, loud enough that people nearby could hear. Can you believe that? Like I'm not worth staying for. My stomach dropped. I walked over. Lena, that's not fair. She turned to me, eyes slightly unfocused. What's not fair? It's true, isn't it? I turned down the job. I'm here. Yeah, after I had to convince you. Like it was even a question. People were starting to stare. A guy I didn't know was watching us with obvious interest. Bethany touched Lena's arm gently. Hey, maybe this isn't the place. No, he needs to hear this. Lena's voice was rising. You think you're so special because you got some fancy offer? You think you're too good for this, for us, for me. I felt my face heating up. This was humiliating. I never said that. I stayed because I love you. You stayed because you had no choice. Because you knew you'd screw everything up without me. The words hit like a slap. Around us, conversations had stopped. People were openly watching now, some with their phones out like they might record this. I tried to keep my voice steady. Can we talk about this at home? Why? So you can run away again? She laughed, but it sounded cruel. You're always halfway out the door. Always looking for something better. That's not true, isn't it? Be honest for once. You wish you'd taken that job. You resent me for making you stay. I don't resent you. I chose to stay. Because I had to beg you. Because I had to explain why our relationship mattered more than money. Do you know how pathetic that felt? Something inside me snapped. Maybe it was the public humiliation. Maybe it was realizing she saw my commitment as weakness rather than love. Maybe it was the months of guilt I'd been carrying finally reaching a breaking point. I took a breath. I think I should go. Her expression changed instantly. Not softer, harder, triumphant, almost. She stepped closer, and when she spoke, her voice carried across the entire section of the bar. If you want to leave, then go. You'll come back to me on your own within a month. The words hung in the air. Total silence now. Even the music seemed quieter. People were staring. Bethany's eyes were wide with shock. Cal had his hand over his mouth. I felt frozen, stunned by the certainty in her voice, the casual cruelty of saying it in front of everyone she knew. She smiled slightly, like she'd just won something. I didn't respond. I just turned and walked toward the exit. My legs felt mechanical. Behind me, I heard Bethany say something sharp to Lena, but I didn't catch it. Someone else said, "Dude, that was harsh." The night air hit my face as I pushed through the door, and I kept walking, pulling out my phone to call a ride. My hands were shaking so badly it took 3 tries to open the app. When I got home, I sat in the dark living room for a long time. My hands were still shaking. I kept replaying her words. You'll come back to me on your own within a month. Like I was predictable. Like I was hers to command. Like she'd tested me and knew exactly how far I'd been before I broke. Except she'd miscalculated. I opened my laptop and found the email thread with the Austin startup. Their last message was from 3 weeks ago. Offer stands if you change your mind. We'd love to have you. I hit reply and typed. Is the position still available? I apologize for the confusion on my end. If you're still interested, I'm ready to commit. I sent it at 1 in the morning, not expecting a response until Monday at the earliest. The reply came at 9 the next morning. Absolutely. We're thrilled. Can you start in 2 weeks? I wrote back, yes. Just like that, my life changed direction. I didn't call Lena. I didn't text. I spent Saturday looking at apartments in Austin, packing my essentials, making arrangements. By Sunday evening, I'd given notice at my current job, contacted my landlord about breaking the lease, and booked a one-way flight for Friday. On Monday, my phone started ringing. Lena. I let it go to voicemail. She called again 20 minutes later. Then again. Then texts started coming through. We need to talk. Please answer. I'm sorry about Saturday. I was drunk. You're being childish. I didn't respond to any of them. By Tuesday, the messages were getting more frantic. I know you're seeing these. At least have the guts to talk to me. Fine. Be that way. Wednesday morning, she showed up at my apartment. I was in the middle of packing boxes, wrapping dishes in newspaper, when I heard the aggressive knocking. I know you're in there, she called through the door. Your car's outside. Open up. I opened it. She looked exhausted, eyes red-rimmed, hair pulled back messily. For a split second, I almost felt sorry for her. You've been ignoring me, she said. I've been busy. Busy with what? Then she saw the boxes behind me, the half-empty bookshelf, the rolled-up rug. Her face went pale. What is this? I'm moving. Moving where? Austin. She stepped back like I'd physically pushed her. You're joking. I accepted the job. I leave Friday. But you turned it down. You chose to stay. We decided together. You decided. I caved. Her expression cycled through shock, anger, disbelief. Because of one fight? Are you serious? I apologized. You apologized for being drunk. Not for what you said. Not for how you said it. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. You meant every word. You wanted everyone to see that you had me under control. That I'd never actually leave. Her hands were shaking now. That's not. I was just upset. You kept bringing up that stupid job for months. Like this wasn't enough for you. Like I wasn't enough. So you made me feel guilty for wanting to advance my career. You made me feel selfish for having ambition. I made you see reason. That job could have destroyed us. No, I said quietly. You destroyed us. Saturday night, in front of all your friends. You made sure I understood exactly how you see me. Tears started streaming down her face. Please don't do this. I love you. I'm sorry. I'll never say anything like that again. I swear. You're sorry you lost control of the situation. You're not sorry you feel that way. That's not true. Her voice cracked. I was scared. I'm still scared. Of losing you. Of being alone. Of you realizing you're better off without me. Then you should have tried to make me want to stay. Not trap me into staying. She grabbed my arm, fingers digging in desperately. Wait. Just wait. Can we talk about this? Really talk? Not like this. Not while you're packing. Let's go somewhere, get coffee, figure this out like adults. I gently pulled away. There's nothing to figure out. So that's it. 2 years, and you're just done. You told me to leave. I'm leaving. Her voice rose, tinged with hysteria. I didn't think you actually would. I thought you'd cool off and we'd work through it. And there it was. The truth beneath everything. She'd gambled that I'd never have the spine to walk away, that I'd take whatever she dished out because I was too comfortable, too committed, too scared to start over. She'd been wrong. Goodbye, Lena. I started to close the door. She stuck her foot in the gap, and for a moment we just stood there, her crying, me waiting. Please, she whispered. Don't throw away everything we built. You threw it away. Saturday night. In front of everyone. I moved her foot gently and closed the door. She stood outside for another 5 minutes, crying, begging me to open it, saying she'd wait for me, that we could do long distance, that she'd even move to Austin if that's what it took. Eventually, she left. The next 2 days were a blur. Friends reached out after hearing about the breakup. Lena's version, I assumed, since several texts asked if I was okay after everything that happened. A few specifically mentioned that I'd left her at the party. I didn't explain. I just said I was moving for work and needed space to figure things out. My mom called Thursday evening. Apparently Lena had contacted her, asking her to talk sense into me, claiming I was having some kind of breakdown. She says you're throwing your life away, my mom said carefully. I explained what actually happened. The months of guilt. The job I turned down. The public humiliation. What Lena said in front of everyone. My mom was quiet for a moment. Then, she showed you who she is. Believe her. I am. Good. I raised you better than to let someone treat you like that. I flew to Austin on Friday. The first week was disorienting. New apartment, new office, new city. Everything felt temporary and strange. I ate takeout on my empty floor because my furniture wouldn't arrive for another week. I worked long days, meeting my new team, diving into code bases, trying to prove I was worth the gamble they'd taken on me. But also lighter. I wasn't walking on eggshells. I wasn't second-guessing my decisions. I wasn't waiting for the next criticism or guilt trip. I was just working, exploring, existing without constant commentary on my choices. Lena kept trying to reach me. Texts became longer, more desperate. She sent photos of us from trips we'd taken, camping in Oregon, wine tasting in Napa, that weekend in Seattle when it rained the entire time, but we'd had fun anyway. She sent voice messages crying, saying she'd made a terrible mistake, that she'd go to therapy, that she'd be better. I didn't block her, but I didn't respond either. I needed her to understand that this wasn't a negotiation. It was over. 2 weeks after I left Portland, Bethany texted me. Hey, I know you probably don't want to hear from anyone right now, but I wanted to apologize for what happened at my party. Lena was completely out of line. Also, she's been telling people you abandoned her without warning and that you were planning to leave all along, which is complete BS. Just wanted you to know some of us see through it. Hope Austin is treating you well. I appreciated that more than she knew. I thanked her and told her I was doing well, that the job was great, that I had no regrets. 3 weeks in, Lena's messages changed tone. You're really not coming back, are you? I can't believe you'd throw away everything we had over one stupid night. You're making a huge mistake. Fine. Have a nice life. Then, on day 24, 6 days before her predicted timeline, my phone rang at 11 at night. Lena again. Against my better judgment, I answered. What do you want? Her voice was small, broken. I miss you. Lena. No, just listen. Please. She took a shaky breath. I've been thinking a lot. About what I said. About how I treated you. And I need you to know something. I waited. I was scared, she said. Terrified, actually. Scared that if you left, you'd realize you didn't need me. That you'd find something better. Someone better. So I tried to make you stay by making you think you couldn't survive without me. And I know that's toxic. I know I was manipulative. I know I was wrong. It was the most self-aware thing she'd ever said to me. For a moment, I almost felt bad for her. But here's the thing, she continued, her voice hardening slightly. You proved me right. You did leave. You did choose something else over me. So maybe I was scared for a reason. And just like that, the sympathy evaporated. I chose myself, I said. That's not the same thing. It feels the same from here. Then you're not paying attention. I gave up that job for you. I was willing to stay, to build a life together. But you couldn't just be grateful or supportive. You had to make me feel small for even considering it. You had to humiliate me in public to prove you were in control. That's why I left. Not because I chose something over you, but because you made it impossible to choose you without losing myself. Silence on the other end. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know, but sorry doesn't fix it. So what now? Now you move on. And I do the same. Just like that. Just like that. She made a sound that might have been a laugh or a sob. You really won't come back. No. Not even. Her voice cracked. Not even to talk? To see if we could fix this? There's nothing left to fix. You broke something that can't be repaired. She was quiet for a long moment. Then, I hope you're happy there. I really do. I didn't know if she meant it, but it didn't matter. Take care of yourself, Lena. I hung up. She didn't call again. It's been 3 months now. The job is incredible, challenging, rewarding, exactly what I needed. I've made friends here, people who don't know anything about my past relationship, who just know me as the guy who loves spicy food and rock climbing, and has a concerning obsession with finding the best breakfast tacos in Austin. I heard through mutual friends that Lena's dating someone new. Some guy from her gym. Good for her, honestly. I hope she treats him better than she treated me. I hope she learns something from how we ended. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd stayed. If I'd swallowed my pride, accepted her apology, tried to make it work. Would she have changed? Would I have been happy? Would we have made it another year, 2 years, 5, before the resentment finally consumed everything? But then I remember standing in that bar, surrounded by strangers watching our relationship implode, and I remember her face when she told me I'd come crawling back. The absolute certainty in her voice. The casual cruelty. The assumption that I was hers to control. She gave me 1 month. I gave her 4 days. Best decision I ever made.